Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. For those of you who do not know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Today I'm going to be showing my highlighters, my blushes, everything that I have in my collection here. Basically anything that goes on my face that's not foundation or concealer. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I have this massive pile of stuff and I'm just gonna kind of start. I think we'll start with highlighters because why not? Who doesn't like a good highlighter? So the first one I have here is a loose highlighter. This is the Artist Couture Summer Haze Diamond Glow powder. I'll try and show it without making a mess. That's what it looks like. I actually really do like this. You only need a little bit of it for it to actually work, which is kind of nice. I mean, that thing's gonna last me forever. Also, if you're wondering where my wedding ring is, I lost a diamond in it, and so we're getting it replaced. It feels weird not having it on. Then I have this AOA Then I have this AOA Studio Wonder Baked Highlighter. This is in Bonbon. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love this highlighter. I love a lot of AOA Studio stuff. For it being $1, a lot of it does really work really well. One of my favorite highlighters in my collection. Then we have this highlighter from Colored Raine. This is the Focal Point Glow Lighters in Luxurious Bling. This one I believe has a red shift. I'll be curious if you guys can see the actual shift. I would go through and swatch some of these, but I feel like we would be here all day and I just kind of really just want to show what I have in my collection. But yes, this is an absolutely gorgeous red pink, I guess, shift highlighter. Then I have this Colourpop highlighter. Yes, there is something on top of it. I don't know what that is. And this is the Super Shock Cheek Pearl Eyes. Stole the show. My little sister actually gave me this and it is a very pale friendly highlight. She is a very pale individual. A lot more so than I am. But that is a good highlight. Then I have this one here. This is the Revolution Makeup Ultra Strobe Balm. I like this if I'm just going for, if I just kind of want to look dewy. I have normal to dry skin, so the idea of looking dewy really does appeal to me. This one is in Hypnotic. I got this in as a free gift from Ulta. I got this as a free gift from Ulta when I purchased a bunch of stuff from Makeup Revolution, so that's where I got this, but I do really like it. It's really pretty. The next highlight I have is from Pretty Vulgar, and this is their highlighter in Glimmers of BS Shimmering Swan. I don't know. The names of their products drive me crazy. I don't know about anybody else, but I do really like this highlighter. It is a much more kind of natural highlight than a lot of the other highlighters I have. I actually wore this one on my wedding day because I didn't want to be super blinding, but I did still want to have that highlight. And I also like the packaging. I think it's pretty. Then we have my one and only Becca highlighter. This is the Shimmering Skin Perfector in Prosecco Pop. I got this in a boxy charm. It is a very gold highlight. I don't really wear too many gold highlights anymore. I kind of am wondering if this is showing. Yes. I don't wear too many gold leaning highlights anymore. I don't really like them for my skin. I like a much kind of like pink or like one that kind of like melds into my skin tone. Okay, let's get into all of my Wet n Wild highlighters. I like that this one is called a highlight when it is definitely not a highlighter. This one is one of their highlighters from Halloween. This is called, did I rip it off? This is called Not Your Basic Witch. and it looks like that. I definitely got this because of the skull pressed in it and nothing more. This is a giant pan of black eyeshadow that, for whatever reason, I can't seem to get rid of. I never use it. I have a problem. Then we have the other skull highlight that they came out with. Sorry if that is blinding you. I will open this. This one is in Caught in Your Web, and it has a skull. This one has a purple kind of blue shift. I don't know if you can see it, but I do enjoy, I like Wet n Wild's formula overall. This one is in Precious Petals. It looks like that. It is kind of a pinky gold highlight. I wouldn't say it's like straight gold. It does kind of have a kind of pink leaning, and I used to use this all the time, but this one is definitely not my favorite highlight on my skin anymore. I like to sometimes use it as an eyeshadow though. Then we have my all-time favorite. If you guys can see the dip that is in that pan, this is the Blossom Glow highlighter, and I do really like this one. I wear it all the time. Then we have another one that I really don't understand why I purchased it. This is Diamond Lily. It has a slight dip because I used to use this as an inner corner highlight all the time, especially when I would do blue eyeshadow looks. I don't do that so much anymore, and I keep debating whether I should get rid of it, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I have a hard time getting rid of things right now. We'll work on that. Then I have this Royal Calyx one. This is a purple highlight that I mostly use for an inner corner. I do not like this on my cheeks. It has too much of kind of like a weird cast where it makes my skin kind of look gray, and I am not a fan of that. The last one is the gold highlight, and it is Golden Flower Crown. As you guys can see, I don't use it very often. It doesn't have a dip in it. It's not one that I reach for, and that is because it is a more gold leaning highlight, but I do like the formula of these, so I will keep this. I'll probably try and use it a little bit more to see if I am going to actually keep it in my collection. Up next is the Laura Geller. This is the Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Charming Pink. I love this. My mom got it in a BoxyCharm and actually gave it to me. I use it all the time. I don't know why I'm swatching. I said I wasn't going to, but this one is one of my favorites. It's not a real blinding highlight. It's more subtle, and I like to wear it to work. Then I have this. This is from Medusa's Makeup. This is actually one of their mineral blushes, but I use it as a highlighter. This is in Laser Beams. It is a very kind of pinky gold. It has a gold reflect in it, so it makes a really good highlight. I like to pair this when I'm doing really, really blushed looks, because then it doesn't look so stark against the rest of my face. The next one is my Natasha Denona Diamond and Glow Mini. This one is, yeah, this is the mini. I absolutely love this. I love it so, so much. I'm trying not to blind you. I absolutely love this. I love this, but you will be warned that if you wear this shade on your face, it does look like straight up glitter. Some people don't like that. I'm actually somebody who does not mind looking like I'm wearing straight up glitter on my face. I also like to use this occasionally as a more luminous blush. Sometimes I'll just use that as a highlight. It really just depends, or I'll pair the two together. Now we'll get into my Revolution highlights. The first one is going to be this highlighter Reloaded in Dare to Divulge. I think I broke this one. Maybe not. Maybe it's the blush that I broke. I absolutely love these highlights. They have a baked formula, but they are really reflective for the price, and I was pretty impressed with them. I'm not somebody who raves about every single Makeup Revolution thing I've ever tried. There have been a few things that I've decluttered or had in my collection that I'm like, goodbye in the past, but these I do really love, and I do really like the blushes from Makeup Revolution as well. Then I have another one of those highlighter reloaded, and this is in Set the Tone. And this one is a very white highlight, but I don't think it looks bad on my skin, especially if I really kind of buff it into my skin. I think it does, it looks absolutely beautiful. It's a very icy highlight, and I think would work beautiful on people with much paler skin. Then I have the I Heart Revolution Shimmering Highlighting Powder, and this one is the pineapple one. I bought this purely because it's adorable. The gold I really can't use. It doesn't work on my skin tone, but this yellow portion here I can. I'll use the gold sometimes as an eyeshadow. You can see that I've used part of the pineapple portion up here. It has been used. I do like it, but I did buy it because it's adorable. Then we have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit. Mine is a complete mess because I do use it. I use this frequently as just highlighter shades or as well as inner corner highlights, brow bone highlights, things like that. I use it more frequently than I thought I would when I originally picked it up, when I picked it up from a TJ Maxx, but I do really like it. My favorite shades in this are going to be Luna and Helia. I use those frequently in makeup looks, but the other shades are absolutely gorgeous too. Lyra, I think, is a beautiful just kind of highlighting shade if you want to kind of pair it with just like a good bronzer. I don't know, I like that look. It's kind of a goldy orange, which is just kind of different. It's not straight up gold and it's not straight up orange. But yeah, this is one that I will keep in my collection. I do enjoy it. I like the different kind of shades it has in here and what it can bring to a lot of my eyeshadow looks. Then I have the BH Cosmetics Blacklight Highlight Palette, and right now I think you can only get this one at Ulta. I do not think they have it on their actual site anymore, but I freaking love this palette. This palette is so bright, so bold, so absolutely beautiful on the skin if you are going to use it that way. If you're going to use it as inner corner highlights, electric and laser are some of my favorites. I also frequently use strobe. I've used all of these. Queen is an absolutely gorgeous inner corner highlight. So I will say that BH Cosmetics does so well with their highlighting palettes, at least these two. I haven't tried a ton of the other ones, but these two are absolutely amazing because I have another one that I'm going to show you. The one that is up next is going to be the Spotlight Highlight. I have dips in Pan. In two of these shades, I frequently use them. I actually use this in a Project Pan. I love all of these shades. Radiance is a little too deep, as well as Allure is a little too deep for my skin tone, but I will use this one occasionally as an eyeshadow. If I pull this out and pull something out, do kind of a more neutral look, I'll use that. But the rest of the shades I can really kind of make work for my skin tone, and so this palette really works well for me. It doesn't leave that kind of weird cast where it's like, that doesn't look good on your skin. And these are absolutely blinding. They're so blinding, and some of the most beautiful highlights I have in my entire collection. Okay, really quick, we're gonna get into a couple of face palettes and my bronzer that I use because it's the only one I have, and then we will get into my blushes because that is an ever-growing situation. The first one here is the Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. This is a bronze slash contour palette slash setting shades. I don't really use this. I keep it because the packaging is gorgeous and I got it in a BoxyCharm and it just kind of sits there. I don't really contour anymore. I used to a little bit, but not really anymore. And this to me is more of a contour palette than it is a bronzing palette, so I don't really reach for it. And maybe in a little bit I will reach for it. I don't know. I don't really see myself using it in the future, but I'm not ready to part with it just yet. I want to get some more use out of it and see if I really like it, or if I don't, I'm gonna hold on to it probably for about another month before I really decide. Then we have a palette that I have beaten to death. This is the Tarte Pro Glow palette. Mine is a total freaking mess. I use this frequently. I use the bronzers, I use the highlights, I use the blush, and when I do that, I use each kind of pair together. I like mix them. That's just kind of how I like to use this. But I do frequently use this and abuse it, and I love it. And I didn't think I would, but I do. And I would say that the blushes and the bronzers in here are really buildable. They're not like other things that I've had in my collection where it's like, whoa, that's super pigmented. These are very buildable. And the highlights are very pretty too. Then my bronzer. It is this guy right here. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze. I got this as a free gift from Ulta, and I've just been using it. It used to have all of the words kind of printed on it, but I've used it quite frequently. I use it every time I bronze my face, and I will probably find a different bronzer after I'm done with this one, just because I want to explore more bronzers. This is not a bad bronzer, I don't think. It blends out beautifully on my skin. I haven't had any bad experience with it. I don't know. I don't have much experience with bronzer though. Okay, let me bring all of the blushes over so that we can talk about my blush collection, because I do absolutely love it. The first one here is from Note. This is their Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in Desert Rose. I absolutely love this blush. It is a beautiful orangey blush, and it is absolutely gorgeous on the skin. I love it. I love the way it looks when I have a lot of bronzer on it. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. This one would never leave my collection. Unless I found a better orange blush. Then I have this Milani kind of sample. This is the Baked Powder Blush in Luminoso. You know that blush that everyone kind of talked about, that peachy shade. I really like it. It's not my favorite. I'm not somebody who always likes a really luminous blush. I have to be in the mood for it, so that's why this one hasn't really been used too much, but it is a beautiful blush, and I see why people like it. Then we have this Super Shock Cheek in Count Me In. It does have pan, but I can't take credit for this one getting pan. My sister used it prior to me, and this was her only blush, and then she decided she was no longer wearing highlighter or blush or eyeshadow. As far as makeup goes, I don't know. She's just doing her base product. She's doing her own thing. But this is, yeah, this is partially credit to her, but it also kind of shows how kind of shallow these are. But I do like the way that this blends out on my skin, and it probably will go in an empties soon because I do use this one quite a bit lately. Then I have this Laura Geller blush, and this is the Baked Blush in Brighton. This one is in Tropic Hues. I absolutely love this blush. This blush can get very intense very quickly, so you do kind of have to pay attention to that, especially if you're somebody who likes to wear blush but likes to wear it minimally. Oh gosh, I cannot talk. I'm so sorry. But I do like this. I like that it has kind of some gold reflect. It's kind of, it is a very luminous blush. It definitely will brighten, I guess, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Then I have this Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Party. I got this as a Sephora gift for my birthday, and I used this literally for months one time for a project pan, and it still has not hit pan. I don't know what they do when they're doing these blushes, but this is gonna still take forever to use. I do like the color. It is, I would say, a little on the light side compared to a lot of the blushes that I'm used to using. It's not as intense as some of the other ones or nearly as pigmented, I guess, but it does last all day on my face. Then I have my Milani Powder Blush in Tea Rose. I love this I love this blush. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I have kind of worn the flower portion of it. This is a very kind of mauvey pinky blush, and it's one that I will frequently wear. Then let's look at the blushes I totally bought for packaging. Look at them. These are the I Heart Revolution. These are the Soft Shimmer Blush. This one is in peach, and it is a very peach blush, and I do really, really like it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Not just because it has cute little peach on the packaging. And then we will look at the strawberry one. That looks like that. This one is very pigmented. The other one, I feel like you can build it up a little bit better, but this one, every time I put it on, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of pink, because this is a very, very pink leaning blush. They are slightly shimmery. It does say soft shimmer. I would say it's a little more than a soft shimmer, but yeah. Then we have my pretty Vulgar Make Them Blush in Prim Vixen. This is a very pinky purple blush, and I love it. I absolutely love this. I was playing around with it the other day and did some blush draping with it. I probably look like a crazy person, but it was so much fun to play with, and I love the unique kind of shade of this. Then we have the Makeup Revolution Blusher Reloaded in Rose Kiss. Ah, this is the one I broke. I broke the packaging. I really like this blush. It reminds me a lot of the Laura Geller blush, and similar in tone, I would say. Not exact shade, but tone. It has the vibe of that one. This blush is very buildable. It's not overly pigmented where you're trying to really blend it out, and I kind of really like that. I guess I like my blushes to be a little bit more buildable than straight up pigment, but I do have some that are like, whoa, this is a very pigmented blush. This is my Kokie Blush Up palette in Pinkin. I actually really like Kokie's products, and I know you can't get a lot of them at Walmart anymore, I believe, but this was one that I bought and I have kept. This is like a highlighting shade. It's a very, very soft kind of pink, but these two pinks are very, very pretty. This one definitely is very buildable and very light, so somebody with very fair skin could really get away with that. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. Once you have it on the skin, it looks very, very bright here, but it's not as bright, and it's a very buildable blush. Then I have this loose powder, luminous loose blush by Studio Makeup. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a terracotta color, and I really love it. A little bit of this goes a long way, so I usually use whatever is in the lid when I wear this, just because it goes so far. This is a very pigmented blush, but most loose blushes are super, super pigmented like this, so you just have to be careful with them. I guess I'm not somebody who's necessarily afraid of like loose products, and I know some people are, or they're worried it's gonna make a mess. I don't really worry about that too much. Then I have my E.L.F. blush palette. That is what this one looks like. I believe this is the light one. I don't know. But I dropped it and I broke a pan. I was very sad. But I do use this from time to time. I really do like this shade here. Especially if I'm just kind of wanting something a little more toned down. The rest of them are very blendable. I really do like the quality of these. I've had this in my collection for a long time, and it's still working very, very well. Then I have my Alamar Cosmetics colored blush trio. These are super pigmented. They're also slightly shimmery, so if you're not somebody who likes a shimmery blush, I would not recommend this. I have to use a very, very light hand with this shade Toasted, but these two shades are absolutely gorgeous, and I love that they lean more on the peachy side than they do anything else, but this is an absolutely gorgeous one. Then one of my newest blush palettes, I have like 3 blush palettes. This is the newest one. This is the Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2. And this is what this looks like. Holy pigment on these blushes, Batman, because they are super pigmented. I like to use this as a bronzer. I love this one. This is an absolutely gorgeous blush shade. These two I'll use occasionally. I use this one more as a highlight. This one is a gorgeous blush. This one is so, so red, and this pink. I like to mix B and Lena together a lot of the times. Yara, again, I use bronzer shade, but these are absolutely gorgeous. And if you have not tried Juvia's Place blushes, I do highly, highly recommend it. Well, there you have it. There is my blush highlight slash face palette collection. I do hope that you guys did enjoy this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and leave a comment down below so that we can chat. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!